Hello, one and all, and welcome back to the Island Shuffle. I am Bean, and I'm talking to you from the present day in the year of our Lord 2022. I wanted to start this episode off with a little bit of context, since we've been gone so long, and we're back now out of the blue. I figured I wanted to kind of explain how this is going to go going forward. Basically, we've got some good news and some bad news. The bad news is that for a myriad of reasons, both me and James have decided to stop the Island Shuffle a little prematurely. This means we will not be covering the remaining 18 or 19 episodes that we still haven't watched. So we won't be covering, Season 2, Episode 3, Orientation, or Season 4, Episode 14, There's No Place Like Home, Part 3, or Season 6, Episode 4, The Substitute. So, fans of those episodes, I am sorry, but we will not be covering the entirety of Lost. And there's a bunch of reasons for this. A large part of the reason that our hiatus was so much longer than expected was, of course, the pandemic made it hard for us to work together. And the other fact of it is that James is moving across the country. And the big one is just that over the course of the pandemic, both of us were kind of lost interest in the podcast, is the big thing. We just aren't that interested. We talked about, maybe we should try it remotely during the pandemic, or maybe try it remotely after. And we just said, we'd just rather put it to bed. We'd just rather be done with it. That is not to say that we haven't enjoyed recording the podcast, of course. But sometimes there are more important things in life than watching Lost in the wrong order and talking about it. So, that's the bad news. The show's coming to an end. The good news is that we do still have 2 episodes that we would like to share with you. This first episode is the one you're about to hear, and it was recorded back in the humble year of 2019. Initially, we planned to take a hiatus for only a month, and so we came back from the hiatus and recorded an episode. And then we decided we are going to extend that hiatus a little longer. And we said, well, it would be weird to just release one episode and then disappear forever again. So let's just hold on to this episode until we come back. Well, we're back, kind of. So here is that episode from September of 2019, which feels like a lifetime ago now. But I'm sure the episode is still perfectly fine. I'm sure it's a funny episode full of jokes and japes. The second episode, the final episode, the second episode you will hear next week, and it was recorded just a day ago, or 2 days ago now, and it concerns the finale. That's right, James and I got together, we watched the finale, and we recorded our thoughts on it, and that will serve as the final episode of the Island Shuffle. I'm really happy we got to record it. I think it's a great episode, and I'm excited for you guys to hear it next week. And I'm glad we got to put one final touch on this podcast that has been so fun to record. Thank you to everybody who's listened to the show thus far. Thank you to Noisepace.xyz for having us on this long. But it is time to say farewell. And with that, I think that covers everything. And I think everything else that I didn't cover, I'm sure we talked about on the recording that you'll hear next week. So, that's it. I will get out of your hair and let you enjoy the rest of this episode. Enjoy. James.
Yes.
James, what are these? What's happening?
I don't
James,
know.
I came over to your house to watch a humble episode of Lost, like we
Yes.
always do.
Uh-huh.
we watched season 2, episode 20, Two for the Road.
Yes.
An episode I just happened to feel like watching.
Uh-huh.
And now suddenly we're sitting at your computer.
Yes.
And there's these strange contraptions attached to your desk, and you're making me speak into them. What's happening here?
Uh-huh. Yes.
What is this? What's happening? Explain this to me.
Well, you're in the midst of Operation USA here at the Hotel California. So to everyone out there listening, thank you. We did it.
What?
We did it.
What?
God bless. Take care. Happy September. Wow, we did it.
We've done
Welcome back. Oh my God.
Oh
we
my
got away
God.
with it. Honest,
What?
the statute of limitations is up. We cannot be prosecuted.
On what? What am I complicit in? What have you roped me into? What could Operation USA be? This raises so many questions.
Well,
And I'm sure that we'll be able to answer them all in due time, as the show Lost does.
yeah. Oh, well.
Come.
To Hotel California. Welcome to the Island Shuffle.
Welcome back to the Island Shuffle. It's been so long that I got confused and thought this was some kind of psyop or something.
And I got confused and forgot about my elaborate scheme.
Seems like you remembered it just in time, though.
Just in time, yeah.
Just in time.
Those who know, you know?
That's true. And if you don't know, I suppose now you know.
If you don't know, now you know. But if you know, then you don't know that you know. Some people don't know that they don't know, but people who know don't all know that they know.
That all checks out. That all
Yeah.
I'm doing the logic math.
I feel
in my
like
head.
most people right now know that they don't know.
And that makes it pretty simple for them.
Uh-huh.
It's pretty straightforward where you fall. God help you if you know.
And
Good luck
what's
sorting through
the other
that.
version? There's people that cannot know that they know.
Yes, and then there's
That's very rare.
people that know that they don't know also.
Yeah, everyone.
Everyone, yeah, most people. Welcome to the Island Shuffle, the podcast where we watch Lost out of order.
Yes, welcome.
It's been a month, but we're back, and we have a humble 18 episodes left, and we are gathering our strength. With this rest, we have finally accumulated enough strength to lay this beast to rest.
To kill this mother effing show.
We're
To murder it with a spear.
we're going to we're going to kill Lost, the show.
I would like to.
We're going to put a bullet in Lost's head, except that we're not going to be able to do it, and then we're going to get someone else to do it instead, and then they're going to kill us
4
instead.
bullets in Lost's head.
I'm going to put 121 bullets in Lost's head.
I would put 666 bullets in Lost's head.
Was your first number going to be 999, and then you said, wait a second.
I had it upside down.
Was I upside down last time I was thinking of the Antichrist?
Yeah, I was. Oh, wow. That is really embarrassing.
You should be embarrassed.
It reminds me of the time that I was thinking of the numbers 5, 3, 1, 8, 0, 0, 8.
And you
I was like, why can't I get this off my mind? I don't understand. And then I was upside down. I flipped back to right side up, and I was like, oh, I'm thinking about poopies.
That's right. That's what happened. You love to. What always happens is sometimes your thoughts just go upside down.
Ask the kids in Stranger Things. Wait, you can't.
Why not?
They're not gonna talk to you.
You can't because they're more famous than you.
Yeah, they don't know you.
They're in
You're
a different social stratum.
Also, they're children.
They're children, and
I
they
guess
don't
they're
know
teenagers
you.
now.
They're teens, but they still probably would not talk to little old you.
Little old you.
If you
You don't have time for little old me?
And they'll say, "Get lost! I gotta go play Fortnite."
Yeah, I gotta kill. That's all the children are saying these days. I have to murder with a gun in a video game.
You know who else loves to murder with a gun, but in real life?
Sawyer and others.
And
Many others. Anna Lucia.
I regret to inform you that Anna Lucia does love to murder with a gun.
Fuck, she's crazy about that.
She does love to do it, and this is our last episode of Anna Lucia. What an episode.
What an episode. I did not realize before watching this episode how little I cared for this character.
Yes. I remember at the time feeling like Ana Lucia as a character was like not very good, not very well fleshed out, and just kind of like I remember being annoyed at Ana Lucia. And I was interested to revisit that because I was like, how much of that was like just kind of internalized misogyny? I remember at the time really like actively hating Kate a lot too. And I think going back, like, I think there's a lot of valid criticisms of Kate, but a lot of that was just like, oh, a girl.
Totally.
Like,
yeah.
But no, Ana Lucia is just a bad character.
Ana Lucia really sucks.
And
so
morally reprehensible.
Should we
actually.
tackle her flashback first?
Let's tackle her flashback.
It's insane. So in the beginning,
yes,
a lady comes up to Ana Lucia.
Yes,
and the lady's like, "I'm your mom, but I'm also your boss."
Yes, and she said, and she says, "Where were you last night?" And Ana Lucia is just like, I was at home. I was at home all night, and I was making dinner and watching TV. But Mom doesn't buy it for a second.
No, she does not.
She does not. And she says, listen, take a ride with me to the morgue. Here's a body that just turned up. This is the body of the killer of your unborn child.
The person who shot you.
That shot you while you were pregnant, and then your unborn child died. And so... then you have the opportunity to ID her, or him rather. You have the opportunity to ID him, and you
they like took him in a week ago. They found him.
Yes.
This was like months and months ago
Yes.
that she got shot.
Yes, she gets shot. They book this guy. They bring him to Ana Lucia. Ana Lucia says, "Nope, that's not him." Refuses to identify him.
And he admitted to killing her.
Yes.
Or not killing her, shooting her.
Yes. All they need to lock him up forever is Ana Lucia's testimony. Ana Lucia instead refuses to testify, then finds him in a parking garage later, shouts, "I was pregnant," and then unloads a full clip on him.
Yeah.
So instead of just like being like, "Yeah, that's him, put him away," she refuses to do that so that she can kill him extrajudiciously.
Which is bad for a police officer to do.
Already she's a cop.
Yeah.
Starting off low. And then like even like her mom is like, don't you respect the badge?
Yeah.
And Lucia is just like, I guess not. I quit.
She hands in the badge.
Turns in her badge and gun. And like it's really like Ana Lucia doesn't play this like they don't play this like it's like they're very sympathetic towards Ana Lucia here, but I don't think that sympathy feels earned at all.
No, it's not. Well, she made the wrong choice.
She made the wrong choice.
I don't think what she did was justified.
There are other characters who make wrong choices and like they do a decent job of being like when Sawyer kills the wrong guy.
Yeah. That
feels like, oh man, Sawyer's like you're not like I agree with Sawyer's choice, but you like you understand why he did it.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, but with this one it's just like it just makes me feel like she was a police officer who would be willing to kill someone if they did the wrong thing at the wrong time.
Yes.
It's like she believes that because she is a police officer, she is allowed to pick and choose how punishment gets delivered, essentially.
And that especially doesn't sit well today. Like I don't need to like at any time. It didn't sit well when I was like a kid and didn't understand like the systemic how systemic police violence is entrenched in everything and all that. And now that then one day I learned about all that and then I was like, oh, I guess Ana Lucia's character is even worse now.
She's bad.
She's bad in so many respects.
But her punishment for murdering a man in cold blood, now she has to work at the airport. Oh, what could be worse than that?
God, I guess blue lives really do matter.
Oh. And she's miserable.
She's miserable. She's like, we get a nice shot of her like scanning people, wanting people at the airport, and just like pouting the poutiest face. And then she takes a load off at the airport bar. And who's sitting at the airport bar next to her?
It is Jack's dad, Christian
Jack's
Shepherd.
Dad, Christian Shepherd.
And this scene is just awful.
This scene is
Every scene they have together is garbage that should be burned.
It really, like, we'll get into it, but it feels extremely like they were like, I don't know what to do with Ana Lucia. What if we just used her as a way to explore more of what happened with Christian in Australia?
That actually
like, it feels way more like a
is.
Christian flashback than an Ana Lucia flashback at all.
So she goes to the bar and orders a vodka tonic.
Yes.
And the man gives her a glass that has a very low amount of clear liquid and no ice.
Yes.
And it's not bubbly.
Classic airports always scamming you.
So I don't know what happened there.
They're always watering down your drinks. And by watering down, I mean serving you water.
Entirely water. It could be tequila with just flat water.
It could be.
And no ice. I don't know.
That sounds bad to me.
Then Christian is like, nice to see you again. You scanned me with the stick earlier. And for some reason, Ana Lucia does not run away.
Yeah, instead Ana Lucia is like, what are you doing? And Christian's just like, I'm drinking a lot. Hey, you ever heard of fate? I think it's fate that we're together. Hey, you seem how he's like, at first it starts like just kind of like, how do you get in?
Chatty.
Yeah, just like
for 30 seconds.
Exactly, just kind of like, hey, how's someone get into wanding? Oh well, I lost my job as a cop is how, and then Christian starts going off about fate and oh well, you and I, it seems like two sad sacks, two lost souls.
I'm going to Sydney. Come with me.
Come with me. I need protection, and you are an ex-cop, so you seem like you'd be good at that. And what do you say we use fake names so that we don't get each other into trouble? I'll call you Sarah, and you can call me Tom, and that sounds cool to me.
And you're watching this just going, okay.
All right, if you say so.
This is garbage.
This is if you say so, Christian.
Yeah, but they do it. Ana Lucia goes along with it. And she's like, I will go to Sydney with the strange drunk man.
With just like this drunk in the airport. Imagine like, okay, imagine working at an airport and then wanting to stay there any longer than you absolutely have to.
I can't.
Imagine. Like, I can't. No. Anyways.
But then she goes to Sydney. Next scene we get.
Yeah,
she's
in Sydney.
In Sydney.
She's staring out the window at a high-res glossy JPEG of Sydney, Australia.
Uh-huh.
And it's 4 a.m. and she's pouring herself a drink because she can't sleep. Who comes knocking at her door but a very drunk Christian?
A wasted bo-basted Christian.
We've all
it's like the middle of the night, right?
It's the middle of the night. He's knocking on the door being like, Sarah, wake up. And Ana Lucia's like, okay, wait, you want to go now? We've been here for 4 days drinking and doing nothing. Which is like, wow.
What is this?
I want to. Here's what I
want
like.
that show.
I want that scene.
Yeah.
Give me the scene of them just like being degenerates together.
Totally.
Then maybe we get an insight into Ana Lucia a little bit.
Yeah. What's the point of this buddy vacation if we get no buddy vacation?
Exactly.
I want to see them on the plane.
Yeah. I want to see them fucking both like just like sneaking. Like getting into scrapes, and it's like, oh geez.
But instead, all of the information we get is delivered in that one scene when she's like, "We've been here for 4 days drinking," and it's like, okay,
if you say so,
exactly.
So,
but then she's like, "Okay, let's go."
Let's go. Drives him out to the suburbs of Sydney,
and it is pouring rain at this point.
It's pouring rain, and Christian's like, "All right, keep the car running. Here's what I needed protection for. Anyways, be right back." And then goes up to just like the front door of a lady,
a suburban home,
and just starts yelling at.
Starts yelling at a lady.
And
the resident of the home.
At one point, we hear, "She's my daughter, and she has every right to, and I have every right to see her." So this is Claire's mom, turns out. And eventually Ana Lucia gets out of the car and intervenes because Christian starts getting violent. Christian starts like trying to like force his way into the door, and Ana Lucia's like, "All right, come on, let's go." And Christian's just like, "Whoa, what's the big deal?" And
this is what, so that was what Ana Lucia came to Sydney for.
Yep.
To remove Christian after he yelled at a lady in her home at 4 a.m.
Oh, fuck, dude. It's not Christian that needed protection. It's her. the lady, I guess.
It's insane.
Yeah.
There's no excuse.
It's nothing. And they're driving around some more, and Christian says, like, they're having a chat, and finally Ana Lucia is just like, what the hell are you doing? Why'd you come to Sydney just to drink and yell at a lady?
Yeah, she does say that.
And Christian says, well, my son ratted me out. Actually, he did a very brave and good thing by ratting me out because I was a drunk and a surgeon. So, but I can't go back and face him. I can't thank him because I'm a piece of shit. So instead, I'm running away. And you know what? You're the same, Ana Lucia. You're running away too. You don't get fired from a cop so easily now, do you? So listen. And then they realize, oh, they're parked right next to a bar. Well, looks like fate once again comes through, baby.
Time to go drink.
Want to go drink another million beers with me?
Also, it must be 7 a.m.
It's fully...
The bar is not open.
It's fully 7 a.m. Yeah. And Ana Lucia is like, listen, makes one last plea. Listen, let's leave. Let's go back to L.A. We can just, leave this all behind, whatever the hell this is. And Christian says, I'm not going back. I'm going to go die now. Bye.
And then he opens up the door, and Sawyer was walking weirdly close to the car door. He says, hey, watch it, buddy.
Sawyer was walking through the middle of the lane. It's an empty, deserted street. He's just walking around he's just doing laps around the car, I guess.
And
he says, I'm walking here like a funny New York. Let's go, baby.
End of their flashbacks.
No, we get one more scene where Ana Lucia is in the airport and says, Mom, I'm sorry. And that's it.
Yeah. And Jack is going, I need to bury my father.
That's true. We get another...
It's like, what is this?
We get yet another perspective on the classic speech of Jack yelling at a crying, openly sobbing in front of a poor like
a flight attendant.
A poor flight attendant saying, Why can't I wait for my father's body to be shipped? Because I need it to be done.
I need it
to be done. And we've probably talked about this in the actual episode, but it's worth bringing up that it's like...
It's garbage. Jack, you planned the funeral really badly. It's not everyone else's problem.
Nobody's gonna,
do it 2 days later.
The stress of losing a close loved one takes its toll. But they're not gonna, and I understand that it's gonna lead to outbursts, but they're not gonna well, I guess we can't get, we can't get the body back. Funeral's canceled.
Well, the thing is, too, she's just like, you need this fucking piece of paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
You should have known. It's like, you just need this. We need this to transport a human carcass.
You're taking
from
a dead
Australia
body
to the United States.
You're taking a dead body across many borders.
Yeah, you're importing a body. We just need you to clear this with someone. And he's like, but I don't want to.
But I need it done now.
He's like, the funeral's in 16 hours, and I'm going to get there without a body.
How embarrassing.
Why is it in 16 hours?
You could not have foreseen this.
Yeah. Idiot.
Anyways.
And that's it. That's her awful.
It's not good.
No, it's not good. But you know what's even worse?
What's even worse?
Her present day goings on.
Don't think it's worse than this.
It's not worse.
I don't think it's worse than this. I think
it's better.
I think it's better, but it's such a low bar. There's some island stuff that I do like, but overall, what do you say we get into it? Michael's back.
Michael's back.
Michael was away, and now he's back.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, "Hey, Michael. Well, come on back, baby." Right?
Hey, Michael. Come on back, baby.
That's what they all say, one at a time.
Sure.
They announce Michael has returned, and everybody lines up and says that exact phrase, and everybody says, and Michael says, "My heart is warmed." I don't really know where to start. There's a lot going on, and it all kind of intersects weirdly.
Let's just do Well, let's do Ana Lucia's thing to get her over with as a person.
Okay. Yes.
I never want to talk about her again.
Okay, that's valid.
Because first, so Ben is being held in the armory.
Yes.
And he is still Henry Gale at this point.
He's still Henry Gale. He's a prisoner, and they know that he's an other.
And Ana Lucia just goes in to talk to him, and he won't talk.
Yeah, and here's what I like is that Ana Lucia gives a monologue saying battery low.
Battery low.
He says Ana Lucia walks in and says, Henry Gale, battery low.
Battery low.
I've been around a lot of batteries in my life. And you know
Yours
what?
is low.
When they're low, they're always talking.
She says killers love to talk.
Killers love to talk. Not like you, though. You are a killer, and you don't love to talk, and that's interesting to me. I have never killed, and yet I love to talk.
Yeah. Except I have killed,
Mhm.
and I do love to talk.
And Ben pulls a fucking crazy prank on Ana Lucia here. Ben is literally like, and Ana Lucia is like leaning in to hear her and to hear him and being like, hey, speak up. You're going to have to speak up. I can't hear you. And when Ana Lucia is close enough, Ben grabs him by the neck and starts strangling him. And while he's strangling him, says, hey, Ana Lucia, you ever think about what if you're the killer and what if I'm the good guy?
It's awesome, and he almost kills her, and it would have been sick if he just did. But then John Locke comes in and bonks Ben on the head, and we're like, Locke, I get it, but also, come on.
Come on, Locke.
Didn't need that.
We didn't. Hey, well, I guess then she gets to die later in a way more dramatic fashion.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool. So Ana Lucia's tending to her wound, and Ana Lucia's like, I'm gonna kill Ben Linus with my bare hands now for real. And Libby's like, what if you didn't? And Ana Lucia's like, I don't know about that.
Screw off.
Screw off, Buster. Ana Lucia goes out to the creek where Sawyer's picking mangoes. And Sawyer's like, get your hands off my damn mangoes.
That is essentially what he says.
Ana Lucia's like, I need a gun and I need it now. What'll it take for a gun? And Sawyer says, screw you. Well, how about this? Scram. Go on,
get no gun for you.
No gun. I say no gun. Then
Ana Lucia leaves, and then she comes back 5 minutes later.
She leaves and comes back, and Sawyer says a line that really, like, it was like my activation phrase. It was like it made me remember Sawyer. It's memories of Sawyer that I had previously like forgotten came flooding back when he said these words, which are as follows. Well. Little Red Riding Hood gonna follow the big bagged wolf back to his stash o' guns.
Sawyer.
When
Sawyer.
When I heard the words stash o' guns, my eyes became the heart emoji.
Mm-hmm. Stash of guns.
Stash o' guns. And then they end up getting into a fight. Mm-hmm. And Sawyer has the upper hand, and Ana Lucia's like, whoa. Sawyer's like, what are you gonna do now? And Ana Lucia kisses Sawyer.
And then they do it.
Sawyer fucks again. I think this might be. We did the Lostpedia episode recently. I think Sawyer fucks 4 times, and I think this is the 4th.
Or 4 people.
4 people, yes.
Yeah, because he fucks many times.
Many times, yes. Kate, Charlotte.
Every
Lucia,
female character.
And Juliet. Yeah, every major female character, I guess.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sawyer. That's okay. So I think we should back up a bit and do some of the other stuff because it all kind of starts to intersect after this. It all melds after this.
Yeah.
So Michael's back. And Michael's in the hatch sleeping, and
he's just sleeping.
He's just sleeping. I know I'm kind of jumping around a bit, but there is one scene I want to highlight here because otherwise I think I'm going to forget about it. After the tussle between Ana Lucia and Ben, Locke kind of has a one-on-one with Ben, and is like, "Hey, Ben, you could have killed her. In fact, you were trying to kill her. Remember back when my body was crushed under a door? You could have killed me then too. Why didn't you kill me?" And then Ben drops a little bombshell on Locke and says, "Hey, guess if I go back there, the man in charge is a great man, but he's not a forgiving one, and he'll kill me because I failed my mission. My mission? Oh, my mission was just to go get a little someone by the name of, I don't know, you might have heard of him, John Locke."
And Locke says, whoa, what?
Little old me,
Little
not
old me.
me.
Not you were coming to get little old me.
Mamma mia.
Here we go again.
My, why are you coming to get me?
I love the hits of ABBA delivered in a breathy, scared voice.
Yes.
You can dance.
You would love the musical Mamma Mia performed by people who are running away from a murderer.
I don't know if I would love that.
You would love
You know what? I guess I'll just have to watch it and see.
Yeah.
Yes, I've been brokenhearted since the day we started.
I'm gonna die.
Oh my.
They pee themselves in the middle of it.
You could change your mind. So Locke does that, and that's cool.
I love that.
So. Oh gosh, my notes are a hot mess. I'm so rusty at note taking, it's really wild.
A Mottes.
So, interrupting this conversation, Michael comes back, and they put him on the bed, and he goes to sleep, and they're kind of being like, "Whoa, Michael's back! Uh-oh!" And then Michael comes to, and everybody's. It's Kate, Locke, Ana Lucia, and Jack.
Some
Jack fella. And Michael says, "All right, I'm glad I'm awake. Here's the deal. I found the others. And you know what? They are all wearing raggedy-ass clothes. They live in little tents, and they eat little fishies. I'd say that they're worse off than we are. You know what? I didn't see my boy, and I didn't see any of the kids they've been taking all these times. But they've got 2 guys and 2 guns guarding a hatch. And that's all they got. And I'm telling you... I'm telling you here, and I'm telling you now.
Michael's personality really shows in this scene. And I'm telling you, and I told you like I told him last time. And then I'll tell you again after I tell you, and I'll tell you on the bus. And then whenever we're telling each other back in the day, we'll be at the grocery store telling each other. And then I told my mom, I told her after my first day of school, I said Bobby told me that his teacher told him to tell you that we weren't telling each other in the sun.
And what I'm telling all these people at all these locations and all these time frames is, of course, that we can take the others.
That is what he's telling us.
That's what he's telling us. After a 10-minute long-winded speech, he keeps insisting on saying, "I'm telling you on the mountains. I'll tell you in the sea. I'll tell you on all 8 of the planets and the sun."
I think it might have been 9 at the time.
Yeah, you're right. Pluto was still real.
Now it is fake.
Now it is fake. Fake Pluto. So. And everybody's all like, well, how about that? As soon as Michael regains his strength, we got ourselves a plot to follow up on, I guess. And so they're all riled up about the guns. And they're like, we got to go get the guns back from Sawyer.
Yeah.
And Lucia says, you know what? You guys go worry about the guns. I'll stay behind and look after Michael because he fell back asleep, I think.
But she really wants to murder Ben.
We don't find that out yet, though.
But we're watching out of order. I'm going to tell people the information out of order.
You know what? That's fair. But there's a good scene that I want to get to also.
God damn it, I ruined it.
You didn't ruin it. It's fine. It's all good. So the gang goes to harass Sawyer. And Sawyer's reading like a manuscript. And he's just like, everybody... calm down. I want to finish this manuscript.
Yeah.
I want to find out who the killer is. And then Jack says, fuck you, tears up the manuscript and throws it in the fire.
Yeah.
It's a rude move.
It's really mean. And Sawyer pulls it out of the fire and shakes it, but it's burned.
It's already burnt, and he says, come on, jerk. What was that for? And Jack says, take us to the guns now. And Sawyer's like, I don't know about that. But then Jack pulls out a gun. And Sawyer says, well, good thing I have a gun prepared for such an occasion. And he reaches in his butt for a gun, but he doesn't see a gun.
The gun is gone.
It's gone. Where could the gun have gone?
Ana Lucia took it when they were having sex.
Yes, it's true.
Which is funny because it's funny that he notices right now.
Yeah. You'd think that would be like Sawyer.
She didn't like pickpocket it from him.
No, it's like she somehow snuck it out during the scene where they're like getting dressed back up.
Uh-huh.
And Sawyer is a person who is very aware of like he's very smart and observant.
Yeah.
It's weird that he would not notice this until now.
Yeah, it is weird.
But hey, the plot said so.
Here we are where we are.
And Ana Lucia has a gun. And Ana Lucia says, "All right, Ben, it's time for me to execute you." Throws a switchblade over to Ben and says, "Execution time, baby."
Baby,
And
execution time, baby.
Says, "Cut it open and free yourself so that it looks like you escaped. All right, buddy."
Free yourself.
And Ben says, "All right, I guess that's time to die." And Ana Lucia says, "All right, time to kill you." But then the next scene we see Ana Lucia is just playing with a gun.
She didn't kill him.
She didn't kill him.
And Michael's like, "Sup with the gun?"
What's up with the gun? And Ana Lucia kind of fills Michael in and is like, "Oh, well, everybody's going to get all the guns. Sawyer has them all. And also we have one of the others locked up in there. And I wanted to go kill him. But you know what? This time I just couldn't do it. For whatever reason, I just couldn't do it."
Too bad.
So, like, this is the first moment of, like...
She starts to be good.
She starts to be good. This is the first moment of, like, any semblance of, like, oh, maybe actually, what if all this, like, violence that I casually inflict on people,
Yeah.
what if my default state of being is actually bad?
Morals come into play.
Morals come into play here. And it is, even with everything coming up, it still doesn't feel earned. It's just because as we discussed, it's such a faulty like bedrock to lay that
so
character on.
Stupid. It's
So-
like, all right, you didn't kill him.
What?
Congratulations.
Wow, you didn't commit an extrajudicial killing. Wow, that's character development.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's sad about how she can't kill anymore. And Michael says, how about this? Give me the gun. I'll do it. They're monsters. They're animals. They took my boy out of my hands. I'll do it. And so Ana Lucia is just like, all right, here you go. Here's a gun. And here's the code to the safe. Whatever. And then Michael says, I'm sorry. And Ana Lucia says, for what? And then Michael turns the gun on Ana
Bam,
Lucia.
blam, kabooey.
Blam, kablooey. And Ana Lucia is dead.
Dead.
R.I.P. And then the camera pans over to reveal that Libby is standing there, and Libby says, "Michael, what the heck?" And Michael panics and puts two in Libby.
Two quick ones
two
to
quick
murder
ones.
you, Libby.
2 quick ones to murder you, Libby, is what he says out loud. Actually, he's like very shaken by the 2 murders that he's just committed. What a shock! Michael has just betrayed 2 people, and then he goes into the safe, frees Ben, shoots himself in the arm, cut to Lost.
Cut to Lost. And that's essentially the big plots.
That's the big, like, if there's anything anybody remembers from this episode, it's that
scene. And that's the only thing they remember.
That's the only thing, because the rest of it is obviously, like, as we talked about, it's pretty, like...
It was stupid. That scene's good.
Yeah.
That is, like, Michael's entire character from then on.
Exactly.
He is the guy who did that thing.
He's the guy who did that thing, and even when he comes back in season 4, he's, like, still like, oh, I'm haunted by this thing, this horrible crime that I committed.
Yeah.
And as a scene, I think it's very, like, the moments are, like, very well executed.
Totally,
like,
yeah.
they, like, there's no music in the scene at all. And in fact, when, like, it cuts to Lost, we don't get the usual, like, thunk. It just, like, appears and disappears.
Mm-hmm.
It, like, really lets you, like, sit with that, like, with the shock of the 2 murders.
Yeah.
But I will also say that, like, I mentioned this to you while we were watching, but, you know, fun fact, when they decided we're going to kill Ana Lucia, they were like, well, because nobody likes her. And then they were like, well, how can we make this scene have an impact then? I guess we'll also kill Libby, too. So that's why Libby dies also.
Which is sad.
Because they wanted people to be sad.
But Libby lives on in one more side plot.
In one more side plot featuring Hurley.
Hugo Reyes.
This side plot is the saving grace of the episode.
It totally is.
It's the only genuinely good content.
It's Libby and Hurley being cute.
Being cute and having fun. Hurley, okay, you know it's good because Saeed's just digging up a hole, and Hurley walks up and says, "Dude, nice hole."
And Saeed goes, "What do you want, Hurley?"
Great icebreaker.
Dude, nice hole. Oh my god.
Oh, fuck, it's good. Then Hurley says, listen, Saeed, remember when we made a radio? Does any of that still work by any chance? And Saeed says, probably not, but, what do you need a radio for anyway? And Saeed says, oh, well, I want to bring a radio to impress Libby, because I was going to hold it over my head and play a song out of it, like Say Anything. And then Saeed's like, I don't know what Say Anything is. And then Hurley literally spends a full minute talking about the plot of Say Anything and being like,
They
here's
really
what it
filled
is.
up screen time there.
They really did. They were like, fuck, we got like 5 minutes left to kill. What if Hurley just talked about Say Anything for a while?
What if we just describe a movie? We can do that, right?
We can do that. This is groundbreaking television. We can do what we want.
And then Saeed's like, forget the radio, take her to the beach. There's a nice beach 3 kilometers away. And I wonder about this one because he says, like, there's a beautiful beach 3 kilometers away. It just seems like the entire thing is a beautiful beach, right?
It is. The whole beach is, it is beautiful.
It's very picturesque.
I can understand maybe wanting to get away from the sight of several dead bodies being washed away, potentially. Maybe that deadens the mood a bit.
But
But
the description of there's a beautiful beach over there,
Yes.
it just feels weird to me.
unlike this piece of shit.
Yeah, exactly.
So Saeed is trying to pack secretly, but then Libby.
Hurley is trying to back secretly.
Yes, you're right.
Saeed says to Hurley, goodbye, Hurley. I will not be in any more scenes.
I think it's really helpful when the characters say, "That's my last scene of the
I
episode."
really appreciate it. Yeah.
I think. Yeah, so Hurley's packing up, and Libby comes up and is like, "What's going on?" And Hurley's like, I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything at all. Oh, I got found out. I wanted to do like a picnic and have it be a surprise, but it was a stupid idea, and I don't think you'd even like it anyway." And guess what? Libby likes it.
She likes it. She says, let's frickin' do that. Take me right now.
Take me on a picnic right now. This will be fun. What fun this will be. And then they wander through the woods, and Hurley gets lost in the woods. And Libby's like, are we lost? And Hurley says, we're not lost. Classic. Men never. Have you ever noticed? Have you or your couple ever noticed to yourself? Have you noticed that when a man is lost and when a man's lost, they don't ask for directions?
They don't ask
and
for
I
directions.
go to the Coinstar, and it's every single time.
Men never ask for directions.
Men never ask for directions.
I think that was my priest said that whenever he had the body of Christ in front of him and he was blessing it, and he went, "Oh, Heavenly Father, bless this food. May we all eat and pray together. Men never asked for directions."
Men never ask for directions.
Yeah, the choir chimed in.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of these churches are based around, ritual. And so you kind of just, you say these things without even thinking about them. That's like,
never ask for directions.
yeah, you have to say 20 Hail Marys and 5 Seinfeld routines.
Oh my God. What's the deal with watermelon?
What's the deal with airline food?
That's funny. So they're lost.
They're lost.
And
lost like the show Lost.
Oh my God.
Fuck. God
And
damn it.
Hurley goes out to the beach and he's like, it's the beautiful beach. And she's like, Jin is over there. And Jin is filleting a fish like he is always doing.
If they need a background activity for Jin to be doing, it's always fish related.
Yes. There's
And
something fishy about that.
nothing fish. Ooh, I like it.
Okay.
Okay. Let's calm down.
Let's calm down.
So
Let's just give it a rest. Okay.
So, Saeed, sorry, I guess got Saeed on the brain. I just love to think about him. I'm sorry.
So Lord Pumpernickel the Fourth comes in riding on his donkey and he says, "You there, you shall be a good fit to be my wife." And Hurley says, "Wow, thank you." And then Hurley is going to go with them, but the donkey breaks when he gets on. And
then Sawyer comes by and says a mean nickname to
he
Hurley.
says something about how he's fat.
and then that's the end of the world.
And
then
end of the show.
And then God comes out and says, "Oh, darn it." And that's all she wrote. No, they're like, Libby's like, this beach is fine. It doesn't have to be. Okay, first of all, I want to highlight that Saeed said it's 3 kilometers along the coast. Just do that.
Oh
And then
my
Hurley was
God.
like, it's this way into
Let's
the woods.
go in the woods.
Let's walk in a circle in the
On
woods.
the beach in the woods.
The famous, beautiful inland beach.
Hurley, I love you, but you're an idiot sometimes.
And Libby's like, this beach is fine. I'll go get some blankets from the hatch and nothing will happen to me. And
She gets murdered.
bad news. She
Something
dies.
does happen.
Something does happen. Something bad happens.
Something really bad happens.
What happens? You'll just have to listen to the earlier part of this podcast to find
Because
out.
we're not saying it again.
We sure are not saying it again.
Do you remember who does questions?
I do not. Do you want to do them?
Yeah, I'll do them.
If you've already got your phone
Men
out.
never ask for directions.
Men never ask for
Yeah,
directions.
you just ad-lib while I do this.
Yes, I can come up with more funny comedy bits that would sound really funny if they were done in a holy choir's voice.
Okay.
But I don't know enough. You're the stand-up comedy expert. I'm trying to think of like John Mulaney bits, and like nothing comes to mind. I feel like a lot of really good comedy bits are very tied to their like the performer. So it's it's either like ultra generic, like you might be a redneck if
Oh, that's good.
sort of deal.
Get her done.
What if a puppet was racist?
I love that puppet.
No, you don't.
It's so funny.
It's real. Oh, it's
The
racist.
terrorist puppet.
It's racist.
Oh,
I keep
Jeff
telling you.
Dunham, that genius.
James, I keep telling you, your lust for Jeff Dunham's poor evil craft of racist
You used
puppets.
the right word, though. It is a lust for Jeff Dunham.
It is. You covet him.
I covet him. Okay. Who is Christian's daughter?
Who was? Oh, Claire. Don't you know it's Claire?
You're right.
We're
This
lost-
is actually a one-word answer.
We're lost experts now, so none of these questions are gonna.
What
phase
was the
us.
nature of Christian's argument with the woman at the house?
He was drunk and wanted to see his daughter from whom he's estranged, and the mom said, "No, not at 4 a.m. while you're drunk."
Yeah. Yeah. Why did Henry say that Locke is one of the good ones?
To fuck with him. Probably short answer. Long answer is Locke actually is probably like destined to be others in some weird convoluted way.
The healing is what excites them.
Oh yes.
The fact that he got healed by the island.
Yes, that's true. I forgot about that.
Um.
Oh yeah, this show can be good.
Yeah.
I just thought about how this show can be good.
What is the Dharma station that Michael saw?
If memory serves, it's a fake 'em up.
It
They-
is.
'cause
It's fake.
They live in real houses with real electricity, and this whole shanty town is a faker.
Why did Michael shoot Anna Lucia and Libby and then his own arm instead of in front of Henry?
Because he's a traitor. He betrayed them. He wants to free his mission was to free Ben, and in exchange for Walt's release. And
Exactly.
That's
Those
what
are the questions.
and that's what he friggin' did. You
You
know.
got them all right.
I love the show Lost, despite all the bad episodes.
I'm okay with it.
You've made your peace with Lost.
Yeah.
Well, what do you say we watch one more episode?
I
of
would
the show?
love to.
Oh, that's great.
What do we do? 1 to 30? Is that what we're doing?
1 to 30 is the ish. We've only got a few more 1 to 30s left before we have to cut it down to 15, but
Wow.
we're still on 30.
19.
19. This is season 4, episode 3, The Economist. And I am going to confirm, I think this might be, speaking of Saeed on the brain, I think this is our last Saeed episode.
Aw, R.I.P. Saeed.
R.I.P.'s Saeed.
Love you, buddy.
Love you, buddy. We're going to say goodbye to a beloved character next time. And I can't wait.
Hey everybody, present day Bean chiming in once again real quickly just to remind everybody that that is not happening. We will never watch The Economist episode 4 season 3 starring Saeed as he attempts to do whatever it is Saeed loves to do. Once again, just as a reminder, not watching that episode next week. Next week we are watching the finale. Alright, back to the episode.
Thank you all for listening to the Island Shuffle. I am Bean. You can follow me on Twitter at Barrier Trio.
I'm James, and you know what? I don't use Twitter, Follow
yeah.
me on Instagram at @BadJamesBrown. I'm doing Cool or Newell. It's becoming a big thing.
Oh, Cool or
You
Newell.
can vote.
Cool or Newell is my favorite Instagram trend of 2019.
Cool or Newell's getting big.
Get in on it. Vote. Cast your vote. Have your voice be heard.
Is it cool or is it Newell?
Is it cool or is it Newell? There's only one way to know, and that's to follow Bad James Brown on Instagram. So you can also follow the show at Island Shuffle on Twitter or Facebook.com/The Island Shuffle.
Hell yeah.
I also want to give a shout out to our humble hosts of Noisepace.xyz. I want to thank them for hosting us for these many episodes. And I also want to say, hey, guess what? If you like our show, you might like all these other shows. Shows like Tuning Fork, which is a show about Pitchfork.
Yes.
Henry Kissinger's Pokemon Going to Die, which is a leftism politics podcast.
Yes, it is.
Or Giants Confirmed, which is They Might Be Giants podcast.
Uh-huh.
And there's even more podcasts than that. I think we have some new podcasts since we last spoke. There's Picking Up Something Good, which is a Radiohead podcast. There's
Cool.
Radish, which is just like I think just a show and tell. People talk about like music and movies and shit that they liked this week.
I like that name.
It's a good name, and it's funny to listen to. Like all of Noisepace's podcasts. I realized I said most, and then I realized
Subtle
that's
shade.
I said most, and then I realized how that's exclusionary a bit, and then I was like, no, they're all good. It's fine. They're all good, and I like to hear them all. I actually, literally, my entire podcast feed is all like Noisepace output.
Yeah. They're good.
They're good.
Listen to them.
Listen to them. Give them a spin. And I think that's the whole shebang.
That's our frickin' show. I hope you liked it. If not, you can just get the heck out of my room.
How's it feel to be back, James?
Great. Where are we?
Where are we? Wait,
Are
where
we at,
where are we? James, what are these things we're speaking into?
are we at Hotel California?
Are we at Hotel? No, this isn't. Last I checked, I was in your apartment.
Is this? Oh my God! This is Operation USA.
Oh my God! It cannot be. You're telling me this has been Operation USA this whole time?
Yes.
Well, I suppose there's nothing left to do but to tell anybody who's listening, it's dangerous. You don't know who's listening in on you listening to us and us listening to you. There's no way to tell. So in your best interest,
Stay away.
we have to tell you to stay away. And the way we are going to tell you that is, of course, get lost. Welcome to the Hotel California, home of Operation USA. Living it up in Hotel California. It's the home of Operation USA. Oh.